I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by, as always, the Derby Barn Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, September the 15th races at Hastings. Yes, we're all the way into the middle of September. We just had the biggest day of the season last weekend.
We've had a busy week.
Congratulations to Sky Promise, the Connections, Rick and Clayton Weiss, the R6 Stable, and Norm Trombley, Robertino Diodoro.
Second year in a row for him.
Wow. I love Weekend Wizard, and he got caught.
I know.
It looked like home and cooled out. What a great race.
I think Craig McPherson had flashbacks of
Bluegrass Angus and Academic.
Looked like he won it, and a great ride by Rico Walcott.
Yeah.
Perfectly timed ride by Rico
As
Walcott.
always.
And congratulations to all the Connections. Great day of racing, and thanks to everybody who came out to the sale, supported the local sale.
Yes, it was
that
awesome.
was on Tuesday. And as Mike mentioned, 7 races on the Saturday card. Let's hop right into it. The first is a maiden 12-5 for 2-year-old fillies. I went to the 3-horse Mark's Miss out of the Mark Luce barn. First start, she runs third behind Stevie Song, her stablemate, and Arshawn comes back, adds lay, 6-second start. Amadeo Perez looks good. Mark's Miss, I threw in our Revel Lady out of the Mike Anderson barn. She runs back that first race where she was 4th in the maiden special weight. She should be heard from in here. Came back with a kind of a flat effort, but gets David Lopez back aboard. Our Revel Lady, and I threw in first-time starter Luminescence out of the Anita Bolton barn. She can have one ready to go first time. And co-leading rider Enrique Gonzalez picks up the mount. 3-5-4 for me.
Yeah, I have the same 3 horses, Drew. I had to put our Revel Lady on top, dropping from Maiden special weight in here for the Maiden 12-5. She come back with a good work in 49-1, and her 4th behind Harlan's Angel in her debut was I thought very decent anyway.
Yeah, so she gets back to that.
She's running against a bunch of horses that run 3, or a couple of horses that run 3.5. Commanding Notice has been beaten double digits in all of her races. Maybe she'll appreciate the easier company. And a first turn Luminescence, but I always respect the Anita Bolton, as you mentioned, runners. But I like our Revel Lady. I agree with Mark Smith. Looks like the speed of the race. Goes on Lasix. A couple of 104 and change works for her first try around 2 turns. And she could carry her speed. The Connections have had a great season with their 2, actually great season with all their horses. But
2-year-olds
definitely very alive.
Yeah.
And the forward Luminescence. If this horse can run a little bit, it's going to be pretty dangerous in here. And as you mentioned, the Connections are dangerous. I went 5, 3, and 4 in race number 1. On to the second race, a field of 5. In this non-winners, a 2 lifetime going 6.5 furlongs. You notice a lot of these horses they're all waiver claiming now.
Yeah.
So all these horses are protected. The last part of the meet, and I'll quickly explain why we're doing it. Yeah. We're trying to keep these horses here for next year. If you wish to protect your horse, you have to have run for 4,000, obviously, to be protected for 4,000. But we're trying to stop any of the poachers that want to claim the horses.
We lost a lot at the
go to Century Downs or to Portland or to Phoenix or whatever. We're trying to keep the horses here for next year. Anyone that wants to keep them anyway. And it's great to see a lot of the people taking advantage of it. But I think the 1-horse Great Blake ran a winning race last time, just ran into a good one and got my mo last time. 7 links back to the 3rd horse. Great Blake should win at a short price. The 4-horse Kaki's Command looked good breaking his maiden last time, and would be the next logical horse. This is obviously a more difficult assignment running against the non-2s, but we'll see if he's up to it. And I put the 5-horse Silver Dude, who would prefer to go long, but is in going 6.5 furlongs. I put that one in for 3rd. I went 1, 4, and 5. I think Great Blake's your winner.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add. Great Blake, a big race against a very tough horse and a heavy favorite last time, and got my mo and just about wore him down. But Great Blake looks very good. I agree. Kaki's Command would be the next logical horse. I threw in Maven's other horse, Forever Crystal. She runs 3rd a lot. She's run 22 times, 6 thirds.
Good filly. The filly against the boys, but still she's eligible.
She shows up a lot, so what the hell. Put her. I went 1, 4, 3 in the second. On the 3rd, 4 non-2 for Fillies and Mares, going 6.5 furlongs. Field of 6 in here. I landed on the 4, yes please. Better spacing within her races last time. She made her first start in Maiden 25, had quite a bit off, just got beat ahead for Maiden 4, came back with better timing, crushed by 7. Mark doesn't get aggressive, just 4 non-2. As you mentioned, Mark Luce having a very strong year. Yes, please, looks to be probably the horse to beat in here. If anybody does best her, figures to be Aspired, who ran a good second behind Jane a couple weeks ago for Robbie Anderson. She's knocking on the door. Before that, she got beat by Future Games at a big price, came back second behind Jaina. She looks like the second one in here, and I threw in Maven's Cody's Honor, who ran behind Aspired last time. I went 4-5-3.
Yeah, I agree. The 4, yes, please. If this horse reproduces that last race, I know it was just a maiden win, but
She's got the speed.
she was visually impressive too.
Yeah.
She was just toying with her rivals. Second Solo came back to win comfortably on the weekend, who ran second or 7 lengths behind. But this horse was just toying with her rivals and drew away to an easy win. She looks like she's ready for the next level. But once again, a short price favorite, but looks like that's what's going to happen in here. I agree with the 5 aspired to be in the mix. I got her in for second. A couple of good runner-up efforts. Ran into the Jaina, who of course came back and won the non-winners of 3 for Fillies and Mares. And I put the 1 horse, Where's My Jenny, in for third for the estate of Dave Dahl. And
Yes.
we should note that Dave passed away. Pretty sad. He lost his battle with, he had a lengthy illness, cancer, and we're going to miss him. He was, of course,
Long-time member of our racing community here, yes.
Yeah, mom and dad trained Oak
Yep.
Endy Select, Ralph and B. Dahl, but Dave had a long, successful career. Also worked at the track. Was always in the winner's circle. He was in that accident.
That's
in the
where
winner's
kind of
circle.
the beginning of his health problems started,
Right.
was when he was in the accident.
He just tried to save people and kind of tried to stop the horse and get people out of the way, and the horse ended up hitting a post, and he was out for like a year. But our condolences to
all the best to the Dave Dahl family. And of
family.
course his longtime partner, Mary Lee.
Yeah, Mary Lee Elliott, who's been an all-star. Where's My Jenny? I put in for third. Definitely a sentimental pick there. 4, 5, and 1 in this afternoon's third. On to the 4th race, field of 6, 6250 waiver-claimed horses, going 6.5 furlongs. I went to the 6 Satellite Storm. I think this horse has got the speed. There's no speed in the race. Satellite Storm gets the lead. He wins his races. When he runs well, he runs really well. He can run in 16 and change or 17 flat. He's a nice horse when he's on his game. He hasn't been this year, but he ran against Colterbury and Crackdown first time out. Then didn't break well and chased The Odds Are Good and Twist Grips and Maggie's Guy a couple weeks back. But this 6250 level hopefully will hit him nicely. So I'll try him to defeat the likely favorite Burnham, who's down for 62 after a loss at the 16,000 level. Go 2 starts back. This horse went in 16 and 4, and he's live. And Richard Hamill back aboard. And I put the 3 Salzburg in the mix. This horse shortens up to 6.5 furlongs, where he did get his first win of the season there on July 21st. And look for him with Amadeo Perez to go well. I went 6, 5, and 3. I thought the outside 2 horses were interesting.
Yeah, I overlooked Satellite Storm. Like I said, we did him kind of in a rush today, and he just worked at 59, so I left him out. That was probably a mistake. But I do nonetheless, I like Burnham,
Burnham's the horse to
in
beat.
here a lot. He's my pick in here. Salzburg, I agree with. He's been running good race. He ran good in the sales stake, actually, behind Straight Remark, Wise Market. Looked like he was going to hit the board in that race, ran a big race. And Fleming's Beach is always right there. Shows up every time. Threw him in the third spot. 5, 3, and 1 for me. In the 4th, on to the 5th. Maiden 4 for 3 and up, going a mile and a tick. Field of 7 in here. I went to Postman. That race last time behind Silver Tooth, that was a very good race, going long. There's a few in here that can be suspect at the distance, but Postman for me on top. I put Unleashed out of the Barb Heads Barn in the 2nd spot. Good third last time behind Red Buffalo and Transplant in a Maiden 8. Now he's in for Maiden 4, and the breeding says he should like the distance. All these, Bennett breds,
they like
generally,
Perfect Soul.
They're generally much better going long. There's the odd one that likes to sprint, but generally better going long. Unleashed in the 2nd spot. And actually it's Storm Rocket, but he's scratched. He's back in on Sunday. So I'm going to throw in Honk. I'll put in the 3 horse there for 3rd out of the Pat Jarvis barn. 4th last time by Kaki's Command and Transplant. I went 1, 5, and 3.
I had the same 3 horses, as you mentioned. Number 2, Storm Rocket, has been scratched. He is running in a sprint on Sunday. But this $4,000 race didn't come up as you expect in September. These horses are still maidens in September. These races are going to come up a little light. I went Unleashed. Transplant finished in front of him last time, but did not win for 4. But still, it was a decent third. Showed some improvement with blinkers on. Perhaps the distance will help him as well. I agree with Postman. He's live. He's been sitting on a win since the blinkers were put on 2 starts back. And I agree with. I threw Honk in for 3rd. It looks like it could be the speed of the race now with Storm Rocket out of it. I went 5, 1, and 3 in this afternoon's 5th. On to the 6th. Got 2-year-olds here going 3.5 furlongs. A little short dash here for a nice big purse. I went to 6 Golden Moment for Anita Bolton, 34 and change, 35 and 2, 48 and 2, a son of Golden Sense, who's one of the hottest sires, freshman sires in North America.
2-time Breeders' Cup winner, Golden Sense.
Yeah, nice miler in the Doug O'Neill barn. Paid a lot of money for this horse at the BC sale, as the Felicellos always do, and they once again contributed. They bought, I think, 3 more on Tuesday. The fellow cellists and Peter Redekop were battling for horse.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny.
Very good to see.
These two young kids,
Yeah,
Redekop and
exactly.
Fellacella, both probably about 85 or 86 years
Out to
of
their
age,
first sale
duking
each.
it out
Yeah.
for yearlings.
First time there.
Yeah, it was fun to watch, but they had a great time, and they always do well. And their young horses always do well when they do come to the races, as this one probably will. So I went to the 6 Golden Moment over the 7 Calculating. Mark Cloutier runner, a daughter affiliated by Escondaria, has worked well in the mornings. Looks like she was pretty close to the races a couple of months back, but had to go to the sidelines, but has come back working well. And I put the 8, Zeta Marie, for Hall of Fame trainer Frank Barabee, affiliated by Drosselmeyer. Frank always has done very well with his 2-year-olds throughout his career, and wouldn't be surprised to see this one have a little bit of zip to it. I went 6, 7, and 8.
I flip-flopped your top 2. I put Calculating on top of Golden Moment. Those two look both pretty dangerous in here. Mark does a great job with his 2-year-olds. His 2-year-old stats are very good, 21% with his 2-year-olds. Golden Moment, as you mentioned, the son of Golden Sense, out of a top barn, been firing bullets in the morning. Those are the 2 I really like in here.
Yeah.
I went to a different horse in third spot. I put the Craig McPherson runner in here, the son of Revolutionary Salmo for the Claymore Barns out of Havasu Falls. I went 7, 6, and 2 in the 6th. On to the 7th. Who did I pick in here? I didn't write down my picks. 4, 1, 5. 4, 1, 5. Citron Kid. The only horse in the race that's proven going 1 mile and 3/8. He's run that distance once and he won. Just couldn't quite catch Shooting Jacket. Shooting Jacket got the jump on him last time. Couldn't quite get to him, just missed. But this horse that Praven owns, Citron Kid, is just rock solid. Shows up every time. Citron Kid to defeat Shooting Jacket, who has been running great all year long. It cultivated a very nice race last time, going 1 mile and 1/8, as I mentioned, beating Citron Kid by a head. And I threw Willing to Travel in the 3rd spot for trainer Phil Hall. He can stretch him out good. Just got beat by Catch Me last time, but I think he will be better going the distance. You look back at his form, he was running long down at Turf Paradise in Delmar and throughout his career. I went 4, 1, and 5.
Yeah, I agree with Citron Kid. That horse should have won last time. It was Enrique Gonzalez has given numerous excellent rides throughout the year. This was not one of them.
Yeah, he was pretty far back.
And then had a chance to split horses at the 3/16 pool. Chose to go outside. It was enough to make him lose by about 6 inches, and that's all he lost by the shooting jacket. But Amadeo Perez takes over on Citron Kid. He's live in here. The one Shooting Jacket hasn't won at the distance, was at 3/3, but I think most of those were in the BC Premiers.
Most of those were
against stakes horses.
Considerably tougher bunch he was running against.
Correct. That's why he's earned 40 G's at the distance.
Yeah.
But no wins, no seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think they were all thirds in the Premiers. But Shooting Jacket's a cool horse at any distance, and nice to see him win one last time for the Hastings Racing Club. And I put the 6 horse, El Super, in for 3rd. This horse can run all day, I think. The Giants Causeways can go forever.
Yeah, that's true.
This horse should show some speed with Richard Hamill. Should get left alone on the head end. I'm hoping Catch Me doesn't go with him. That would be unfortunate, but I think El Super can really control the tempo and perhaps even pose an upset. I went 4, 1, and 6 in the number 2 of the endurance series at Hastings, mile 3/8. They'll hit the line 3 times. Well, that'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday, September 15th races. Next up on screen will be a quick recap of what we did end up selecting. There we
Mike,
go.
as always,
Back in race number 1, I went to the 5, our Rebel Lady. Going to go 5, 3, and 4. Race number 2, I went to the 1. Oh, there we are. I went to the 1. Great Blake. We got Mike's. Okay, that's all right. 1, 4, and 5. Race number 3, I went to the 4, Yes Please, over the 5 and 1. Race number 4, I went to the 6, Satellite Storm, over the 5, Burnham, and the 3, Salzburg. Race number 5, it was kind of 1 or 5 for me. I went 5, 1, 3. I went with Unleashed. Race number 6, I went to the 6, Golden Moment, for the fellow cellists. 6, 7, 8. And in the finale, I went to the 7, Citron Kid. Going to go 4, 1, and 6.
On to my picks, there we go. Back in the first, I went to the 3, Mark's Miss, over the 5 and the 4. In the second, I agree with Mike. Number 1, Great Blade looks to found a good spot here over the 4 and the 3. In the third, I like the 4, Yes Please. I got a few other Mark Cloutier runners today. Over the 5 and the 3.
He'll be loving you on Sunday morning.
Yeah, exactly. Get him stopped a few times. Race 4, my old horse. I love this horse. Number 5, Burnham, over the 3 and the 1. Nice. In the 5th race, I went to the 1, Postman, over the 5, Unleashed, and make that a 3. I'll put Honk, 3 in the 3rd spot as Storm Rocket is entered back in on Sunday. In the 6th, I flip-flop Mike's top 2. I like the 7, Calculating, out of the Mark Cloutier barn. There's another one of Mark's. Over the 6, Golden Moment, the 2, Selmo. And the nightcap, I agree with Mike on number 4, Citron Kid, classy old horse here. Over the 1, Shooting Jacket, and the 5, Willing to Travel.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. Quick reminder, of course, we got 7 more races on the Sunday program. First race to go at 1:50, Sunday, September the 16th. No stakes races. We did have a whole herd of them last weekend.
Yes.
Our next stakes will be in a couple weeks' time when the 2-year-olds go in the fantasy and the Ascot graduation. But
And the premiers and the
boys,
ballerina.
or the next week, the week after. Yeah, so still lots of stakes action left this year, but none this weekend. Still our hard-trying claimers are going to put on the show. On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on Handicapper's Corner.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do, can